Yeah, so Vivek, this interview is a part of the series which I'm doing called Keeping It Real. Uh, so basically, keeping it real, what we are trying to do is to connect. So the whole soul of a musical is to make Hindustani music accessible and relatable in a way that a common man can understand it without much jargon. Okay, and that includes a lot of other things which are sometimes not talked about and most rarely talked about. So I usually get people to talk about these things which people may not like to hear at times, but it's okay. It's important to talk about these things so that the art sustains and flourishes. Okay, so I'm going to start with
Okay.
basic. I'm going to start with a basic line of questions, which is about Vivek, about your Guruji and your Talim. How did you start? How did your initial Talim go with your Guru, and how has it developed so far?
हाँ. अच्छा, now I'm supposed to answer now.
Yes, Vivek.
Okay. So uh, it all started when I was actually in my ninth grade and I wanted to learn the flute. And I actually wanted to play the song from Baiju Bawra called O Dunya Ke Rakhwale on the flute, which is a very beautiful song. And it's in Rag Darbari Kannada, which apparently is one of the most difficult ragas to play on the flute. It's not an easy raga for the flute. So मैं मतलब how do I put it? I tried learning on my with my dad guiding me and with my own practice. I used to play. I was playing the keyboard for quite some time by then. I was learning for the last around 6 or 7 years. I learned the keyboard, and I was not. I was okay at it, and I could. I had somewhat a sense of listening and playing. Very well developed, but I could. Are you framing or is everything okay? You can hear me, right?
Vivek, a little of what you said got cut. You were saying that you have learned
I said
keyboard,
I
right?
was learning a keyboard. I learned the keyboard for around 6 years before I picked the flute, and I wanted to learn the flute and I wanted to play that song basically. And I took that up, put the instrument up with my dad's guidance. वो 20 रुपए की flute लाके दी थी उन्होंने वो the ones that that you get from the nomadic flute vendors. So I tried playing that for around 3 months with no सक्सेस एंड फाइनली उसमें से साउंड आया. उसमें से साउंड आने के बाद आई वाज अ menace at home. So my dad was pretty pissed off with me for the next 3 months because I was continuously playing the flute, trying to get out sargam and all that and all those things. And by
Okay.
3 years or so, I was sure that I want to take this instrument up. Like I wanted to master the instrument. And I really didn't know any teacher who would actually teach me to play the flute. Uh, so I had joined engineering by then, and I was in my engineering first year when one of my super seniors had given a performance in our college. Who happened to be his name was Kalawar Akshay Kalawar. So Akshay gave a performance in my college, SIES mein, and I came to know I was not there in the performance, and my friends and my colleagues, they knew that I was I was trying to play the flute with no success. So they said that you should contact this guy and he'll help you. And somehow I caught him somewhere and I told him, who the hell are you learning from? So yeah, I caught hold of him. I got Vivek sir's number from him, and I came to know that sir is teaching in Thane only. And that time the classes used to be near the Thane station, McDonald's के पीछे. थाने स्टेशन में उनका क्लासेस था तभी लॉन्ग 2006 7 I think 6 2006 August or July or something like that. And that is when I went to him. I told him in the first day. I by then dad had bought me a couple of flutes and I took the flutes to him and I uh, played something that I knew before him I played something like Darbari. He didn't say anything. Like, he didn't say like अच्छा है खराब है कुछ बोला नहीं उन्होंने. All he said was थोडंफार स्वरज्ञान आहे चांगलं आहे. That is all he had said. And then sir, daddy was waiting in the class. So like आपको भी daddy, and sir was like आपको भी सीखना है. Daddy was like नहीं आप जा सकते हो बड़ा लड़का है घर आ जाएगा वो आप टेंशन मत लो. And dad went home and the class went on. It was basically the first part of the class was a complete mess. My first class, it was a complete mess. Everyone's playing and no one's listening to anyone. That was the first section where all the learning students were there, and I did not leave the class. Everyone left. Senior students waited. So I was not a senior student. I was my first class. And sir ne tabhi Mia, and then for the senior students, he started Mia Ki Malhar. That was my first class, and he was teaching Mia Ki Malhar. And I'm blessed with long fingers actually, like really long fingers. So उन्होंने मुझे पूछा कि तुम सफेद तीन बजाओगे. पांडी तीन की बांसुरी मोटी असते. The सफेद तीन E scale flute is a big flute. Beginners generally can't get their hands on it. I have long fingers. I could reach it. So I took advantage of it. हाँ sir मैं बजाऊंगा. He gave me a flute, and I had some idea of how Mia Malhar is. You know, like Hari ji ka sun ke thoda bahut. I didn't know the exact aroha avroha, but I kind of had an idea of how the rag goes. और मैं मतलब बांसुरी हाथ में आया मैं सर का बांसुरी लेके चालू भी हो गया मियां मल्हार बजा रहा हूँ. And then after some time sir said Vivek एक minute सुनो. And then he played one sa. All he played was sa. ठीक है. वो सा बजाने के बाद मैंने फ्लूट 6 महीने के लिए हाथ पे नहीं ली उनके सामने. बिकॉज मैं 6 महीने सा प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था बजाने को घर पे. So I went home, I took my flute, I was trying to get that sa out. It was a different, that sa, it still resonates in my head. It hit me right here simultaneously. What talk? And this is when I realized like, gadhe tere ko kuch nahi aata hai. Here when is what hit me like, that is the note that we have to play. It's that two realizations at the same time. And then 6 months straight I was just practicing like a madman at home, and I used to sit for all his classes. His classes were so Tuesdays was for the junior students, and Tuesdays were for the seniors, and Wednesdays and Sundays were for the juniors and hobby kind of guys. I used to attend all 3 days. He never said anything like nahi aana chahiye tum, aise kuch nahi bola. I used to be the first guy in the class. मैं पूरे एकदम सतरंजी पूरा झाड़ू वाड़ू मरवा देता था और पूरा सतरंजी बिठा के first guy in the class, last guy to leave the class. 6 months. Hands down 6 months I was just listening to him play. He used to say कि तुम बजाओ. मैं नहीं, मेरे को नहीं बजाना, मुझे सुनना है. And I used to watch his hands. I used to watch the way he blows into the flute, and I used to watch his diaphragm go up and down, what kind of blowing. Like I used to anticipate what is going on inside his body, and try to reciprocate it with mine. That's the only way, because कोई गुरु ये नहीं बोलता कि तुम्हें नाभि से blow करना है, तुम्हें this is the kind of blowing that you should do. He never explained all this. At least at that time he never used to. मतलब I'm talking about 2006-07. तभी वो कुछ explain ज़्यादा करते नहीं थी. He used to teach. सुनना है बजाना है. And I used to observe him minutely, closely. And I used to sit right at his feet so that I could see the fingers moving on his flute, as well as I could have a position of his chest and his lips when he's blowing into it. So I want that, वो मेरा जगह होता था. So I didn't want that place to go to anyone else. तो मैं सबसे पहले आता था वो जगह में. So I used to sit there and I used to observe him. I used to observe him like a madman, and I used to just admire him. At the same time, I used to be very careful. Like ये हाथ ऐसे move हो रहा है, ऐसे move हो रहा है. So I used to try to reciprocate it with my flute. No success. Hands are stiff. वो गमक और मींड कैसे आते हैं कभी नहीं समझा. Then one of my guru bandhus, Omkar karke, younger than me, so he told me कि इसको ऐसे ऐसे करना है, ऐसे ऐसे करना है. He taught me the gamak and mean for Hamsadhwani. Hamsadhwani was one of my favorite ragas by then. And Hamsadhwani on the flute sounds beautiful. कुछ भी बोलो, Hamsadhwani on the flute is a beautiful raga. That is when I uh, realized, oh, this is how you do the gamak, not the mean, just the gamak. So I extrapolated from, say, अगर मैं उसने मुझे ग का गमक बताया तो obviously रे का भी गमक similar ही होगा. So as an engineer, you use that logic and you try it with all the notes. And then प का गमक नहीं आ रहा है. So प का गमक सर कैसे लेते हैं मैं देखता था. And then I realized, oh, प का गमक ऐसे लेना है. And then then I used to practice like, again, I used to practice that one part like a madman. वो खाली, there is this phrase, gaga re re sa sa ni ni pa pa gaga re re. I mean, this is the phrase, okay? This is the phrase जो मुझे कभी आता नहीं था, मतलब I never used to get it. तो कैसे तो करके somehow anyhow I managed it at that time. And then गुरुजी ने जिस दिन हंसध्वनि बजाया, I was in one of his shows. I was like, what kind of sorcery is this? I couldn't believe that हंसध्वनि ऐसे भी बजता है. I had just listened to one or two smaller clips of Hariji, like 2 minute, 3 minute के. जब 40 मिनट का हंसध्वनि सुना गुरुजी का, I was like, ये क्या है? हंसध्वनि ऐसे भी बजता है? And then I got to know कि हरी जी के बहुत सारे ऐसे एल्बम्स हैं, बहुत सारे है उन्होंने हंसध्वनि बजाई है. तो मैं सारे एल्बम्स हंसध्वनि के निकाल लिए, सब सुन डाला. And then I used to listen to one recording again and again and again and again and again till that recording in my head I know exactly like 1 मिनट 10 सेकंड पे वो गंधार लेने वाले हैं. वो रट्टा मतलब इधर हो गया. Like I know the phrases left, right, center. And ऐसे करते करते like it's like a combination of listening, practicing smartly. तो practicing smartly एक होता है गधे जैसे रगड़ो, ठीक है, सा सारे रे ग म प प द नि नि सा सारे रे ग म प प द नि नि सा सारे ग रे ग म, जो अलंकार जो हम सिखाते हैं वो गधे जैसे रगड़ो. दैट इज डोंकी वर्क. वो करना है, वो अवॉइडेबल नहीं है, यू हैव टू डू इट. बट देन कुछ फ्रेजेस हैं जो कुछ राग में है, उसको उस राग में रगड़ो, फिर आजू बाजू के सारे राग में रगड़ डालो. दैट इज बेसिकली फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो मैंने अभी फ्रेज बजाया, गगरे, अभी इसी को शंख ध्वनि, नी कोमल, रूप, तो एक साथ ऐसे 6-7 राग हो गए एकदम. मध्यम गन्नार की जगह पे म को ले लो तो वृंदावनी. तो आजू बाजू के राग रगड़ लो. तो वो आई फिगर दैट आउट, लाइक देयर इज नो अदर वे. रगड़ना है बट आजू बाजू के राग रगड़ोगे तो एक साथ सब हो जाएगा. तो मुझे अलग अलग से रगड़ना नहीं पड़ेगा. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई फिगर्ड आउट फॉर मी. लाइक हर बंदे का अपना तरीका होता है रियाज का. सो आई स्मार्टली and then there was some minute phrases of the raga which is specific to the raga और आपको वो रगड़ना है. So there is non-specific phrases which can be used on a variety of ragas. तो आजू बाजू के राग रगड़ लो. इन कुछ specific phrases उस राग के आप उस राग के लिए बजा लो. तो वो है जो I figured that out. So I was able to. So within 4 years, I was already ready with the Visharad ka portion. So like 2010, by the time I completed my engineering, जो मैंने engineering पढ़ाई नहीं की, मैं कैंटीन में बैठ के बांसुरी प्रैक्टिस करता था. और वो 4 साल में मैंने सारे वो राग कर डाले जो विशारद के थे. उसके बाद मैंने मतलब मेरी पहली एग्जाम दी थी. आई गिव माई सेकेंड एग्जाम डायरेक्टली विशारद का.
You are
सो
aware that one of your engineering professors can also happen to watch this videos and
क्या
can
हुआ?
sort of. I'm saying you are aware that one of your engineering professors can just randomly bump into this video and
They
can
are well
actually
aware that I have not studied anything. They are very well aware. मैंने बोला ना मैंने बैटमैन बनाया था मेरे यूनिवर्सिटी पेपर में. तो
Okay.
मैंने इंजीनियरिंग ज्यादा पढ़ाई नहीं की थी. मैंने कभी इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ाई की नहीं. सो इंजीनियरिंग इज समथिंग. 2 मिनट इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में बोलूंगा बिकॉज वरना लोगों को लगेगा कि मैं पढ़ाई ही नहीं किया. मैंने इंजीनियरिंग जो उन्होंने सिखाई वो पढ़ाई नहीं की. बट इंजीनियरिंग क्या होता है और इंजीनियरिंग कैसे करते हैं वो मैंने सीख ली थी. तो इंजीनियरिंग जो होता है इट्स अ प्रोसेस. इट इज नॉट जस्ट बुक पढ़ा, असाइनमेंट दिया, एग्जाम लिखा, केटी मिला, केटी उड़ाया, गोल्डन केटी लगा. नो, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about engineering is a problem solving process. So it's a thought process. It is a critical thinking process. It's about thinking and solution oriented thinking. So the critical thinking process I had already gotten from my father. मेरे पिताजी के साथ रह के we used to solve very weird problems and very practical questions he used to have, which he trained me for the real world. So I am indebted to him, this guy right behind me. So बहुत उन्होंने बहुत मदद की वैसे तो. और इंजीनियरिंग तो मैं खैर पास हो गया. आई ऑल्सो फिगर्ड आई नाउ नो हाउ टू पास इन एनी पेपर. तुम कोई भी सब्जेक्ट, कोई भी फील्ड का पेपर दे दो, मैं पास हो जाऊंगा. फेल नहीं होना है मैंने. मतलब 40 तक का पासिंग होता है स्टैंडर्ड, मुझे मिल जाएगा. हाँ, कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी का कोई भी पेपर हो, मैं पास हो जाऊंगा. अनलेस इट्स अ टेक्निकल पेपर. लाइक आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ नॉन टेक्निकल. टेक्निकल मतलब अब तुम आइंस्टाइन्स रिलेटिविटी थ्योरी दोगे तो मतलब वो पास होने का. आई हैव नॉट स्टडीड इट, सो आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट समथिंग very technical, but I'm talking about a normal paper, like any engineering based paper I can definitely clear. So वो मैं I found out the hack. तो अभी मैंने जस्ट मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर एमए का मार्कशीट लेके आया हूँ. आई पास्ड.
Wow, you're doing MA.
Yeah, एमए इन म्यूजिक.
Wow.
म्यूजिक भारती विद्यापीठ यूनिवर्सिटी पुणे.
Superb, congratulations. So here is the
हाँ, मैं वही मार्कशीट लेने गया था. मैं पास हो गया. मैं
a toast to we make passing is the first year of MA. Whoever has joined, please congratulate him.
Thanks. ठीक है. So that was about my talim. I have bud. I've done a lot of bud. And one thing is like as my guru, he is not just my guru. He has not just been just a. मतलब he's very I want to talk about Vivek sir because he's one of the most incredible people I have met in my lifetime. Apart from street smartness, which only a street smart person can admire another one. मतलब वो चीजें कॉमन होती है हम लोगों में. सो सर मेरे गुरुजी बहुत स्ट्रीट स्मार्ट है. वेरी स्मार्ट. आई हैव नेवर सीन someone as smart as him, to be very honest. Like very few people I have worked with, directors and CEOs almost always. तो उनके लेवल की स्मार्टनेस मेरे गुरुजी में हमेशा से थी, हमेशा से. And I'm talking about the time when I was like 20 and he was something like 31, 32 ऐसा तब की बात है. तो हमेशा से he was very smart, very shrewd, in a good way. And he taught me how to think in music. But he also taught me how to be in life. So I like he was like a second father to me. He was like my elder brother, always watching over me, always watching over me, and I could share literally anything with him. I have shared everything with him. I have almost always shared everything with him. He was like a friend, a brother. I can talk to him like लोगों को जनरली वो गुरु के साथ वो एक डिस्टेंस रहता है यू नो कि ये मेरे गुरु हैं मैं उनके साथ ये मेरे गुरुजी के साथ कभी उन्होंने मुझे कभी एहसास होने दिया नहीं कि मेरे वो गुरु हैं मुझे हमेशा ऐसे ही लगता था कि वो मेरे बड़े भाई हैं तो वो आई हैड दिस ब्यूटीफुल बॉन्ड विद हिम एंड उनके साथ टपरी पे चाय भी पी है उनके साथ 5 स्टार होटल में खाना भी खाया है तो वो पूरे रेंज में आई हैव बीन विद हिम सो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 17+ years दैट आई हैव बीन विद हिम तो वो पूरे रेंज में आई हैव बीन विद हिम I have seen him grow and I have seen people grow with him. So mere Guruji, basically he's been my big brother to me and I am always going to be indebted to him. And I like mere phone se when my dad passed away, the first call that had gone was to his phone.
Yeah.
The point is, I have always had a beautiful relationship with him. He's always had my back, always had my back. So I really love him for that, and I am glad I have a guru who is Pandit Vivek Sundarji. So
Better. Okay. So the next kind of question that I want to ask you is about about your take on the audience. By your take on the audience, what I mean is the changing taste, the changing expectations, the reduced attention span and tenacity of the audience, whether for the better or for the worse, and the changing values and priorities of the artists as well. We had a small discussion about this before the interview and before the recording. So I
No, it
want
was not a discussion, it was a monologue.
it was a
I never
monologue.
told you. I never
Okay.
told you what I think.
It was a monologue. So can you now tell me what you think about it?
First, I'll tell you the fact. I'll elaborate on the fact on why it is happening. And second, I'll tell you my opinion. Okay?
Okay.
But I want to put it very clearly. My opinion is irrelevant. मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन है उसका कोई संबंध नहीं बट facts are facts ठीक है it is not just music that is evolving humans are evolving सब कुछ इवॉल्व हो रहा है एंड इवॉल्व हो रहा है फास्ट की ही तरफ यू वांट एवरीथिंग फास्ट राइट फ्रॉम फूड टू हाउसिंग टू ट्रैवल यू वांट एवरीथिंग फास्ट तो म्यूजिक का लाइकिंग भी है वैसे ही होता है ठीक है ये दिस इज द फर्स्ट फैक्ट सेकेंड फैक्ट इज तुम सामने वाले को जो दोगे वो लेगा ठीक है अच्छा व्हाट इज योर फेवरेट फूड मतलब व्हाट डू यू लाइक टू ईट
Chaat.
चाट ठीक है भेल और पानी आई थिंक पानीपुरी वुड बी अ बेटर आइडिया नो मतलब इट विल बी बेटर
I don't enjoy
What
pani puri as much as I enjoy bhel. Let's go with bhel instead.
ओके भेल ठीक है तुम्हारे सामने एक प्लेट भेल रखा है और तुम्हारे उसके बाजू में दाल चावल रखा है क्या खाएगी तू
I'll naturally go for the bhel.
गुड वेरी गुड आई वुड गो फॉर द भेल माई सेल्फ बट तेरे को रोज खाली दाल चावल मिलता है तो क्या करेगी
I would still go for the bhel because it's new.
नहीं तेरे को भेल नहीं मिलता तेरे को खाली दाल चावल मिलता है तो क्या करेगी
So I have to eat the dal chawal.
एग्जैक्टली चॉइस नहीं है ना उधर
There's no choice. Correct.
एग्जैक्टली जो सामने वाला तुम्हें जो देगा तुम लेते हो तुम्हें चॉइस नहीं है उधर म्यूजिक भी वैसे ही है तुम्हें जो देते हैं तुम वो लेते हो तुम्हारे पास चॉइस नहीं है ये अच्छा खराब वाला कुछ नहीं है ये फैक्ट्स है मतलब ठीक है पहला फैक्ट दूसरा फैक्ट ये, और तीसरा फैक्ट ऐसा है, लोगों के मेंटालिटी चेंज नहीं हो रहे हैं, लोगों के मेंटालिटी चेंज किया जा रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द फर्स्ट 2 पॉइंट्स.
Got it.
ठीक है. It is a mindset of all forms of capitalism in general that fast is good. If you don't have a choice, you will adapt to whatever you have to.
Correct.
ये वो वाला हिसाब है. रही म्यूजिक की बात, आपको जो म्यूजिक मिलता है वही आप लेते हो ना, तो वो आप, there's no choice there. I mean, now you say that ऑडियंस बदल गई है. ऑडियंस को बदला गया है, ऑडियंस नहीं बदली है. And it happens over generations, right? It's not. And let's see it very simply. हम सब भीमसेन जोशी जी को एडमायर करते हैं. There is not one person whom I know who does not admire भीमसेन जोशी जी. भारत रत्न पंडित भीमसेन जोशी is admired by literally every single vocalist, instrumentalist, and dance artist that I have known. But no one even thinks of doing a 3-hour show or 3-hour performance on one राग से मुल्तानी. कोई नहीं करता 3 घंटे मुल्तानी. क्यों? सामने एक तो है कि तैयारी भी तो होनी चाहिए. 20 घंटे कौन रियाज करता है आजकल? तुम्हारे पास, मेरे पास, दोनों के पास टाइम नहीं है. मैं 4 घंटे रियाज करता हूं तो हम लोगों को लगता है बाप रे इसने कितना रियाज किया. हमको, हमारे गुरु को पता है ना कि 4 घंटे कुछ नहीं होते. हमको दिल से पता है ना 4 घंटे कुछ नहीं होते. रियाज 4 घंटे नहीं होते. 4 घंटे तो स्किल मेंटेन करने में जाते हैं, ग्रोथ में नहीं. वो 4 घंटे ना गला गर्म होता है उसमें खाली. After that is when the real thought process starts. It's basically your practice is an endurance test. It's supposed to be an endurance test for you. Your riyaz is an endurance test. It is not, you don't perform like that, but you endure it. It's supposed to be cumbersome, tiresome. So असली रियाज तब होता है जब तुम्हारे पसीना छूट चुके हो, तब रियाज शुरू होता है. तब, बट ये मैं अगर ये, this sounds very orthodox, but it's a fact. Because I have done that when I had time, when I was in engineering, I had time to do it. I have done that. I have practiced for 10 hours, 12 hours, sitting at home, doing nothing, not going to college, sitting at home and practicing. I have done that 10 hours, 12 hours, like a madman. Mom goes to the temple, dad goes to the office, uncle goes to the office. I get the home for myself. I practice. I have done that. So, and then my Guruji had to tell that I have been actually practicing and all that. That whole thing with the college, he's backed me up, as I said. I have been a good student. Now I'm not. I'm clearly not. But practice is very tiresome, cumbersome. It's an endurance test. But no one practices that way. No one wants to practice that way. No one has time to practice that way. So yeah, it's not just audience that has changed. The whole scene has changed. It's a cycle. It's going to continue. Sorry. Now my opinion. Just one statement. बहुत बड़ा नहीं है. समय बदल रहा है, आप भी बदलो, वरना आप कहीं नहीं रहोगे. अच्छा खराब कुछ नहीं होता. You want to change, you change. You don't want to change, you can stay true to your principles. Good enough. The choice, that is where you have a choice. You can pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also a very nice cue to my next question, which is changing the game. So, like you said, we need to change with the time. We need to, kind of make ourselves adaptable with the changing world. And the biggest revolution in the last couple of years is internet and connectivity. This immense connectivity that we have achieved today. What do you think? What is your take on this one particular fraction of internet, that is social media? What is its impact on the life of a musician, and what impact is a musician making on a social media? A musician, I'm saying as a general term, what impact is a musician making on the social media, and how is the social media impacting his life? His one is of course spreading his art and everything, and the other thing is getting response, because an artist sings or performs so that he gets response. So how do you look at this?
इसमें दो चीज है अगेन. एक है कि सोशल मीडिया किस चीज के लिए यूज होना चाहिए और किस चीज के लिए यूज हो रहा है. किस चीज के लिए होना चाहिए उसका जवाब है मार्केटिंग. इट्स ओनली फॉर मार्केटिंग. ठीक है. एनीबडी सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट इज व्हाट पीपल परसीव ऑफ देम. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरीली ट्रू.
In fact, it is what they want people to perceive of them.
नहीं, I'm coming to that part. I'm saying any account, you look at an account, you have a perception about that account. So it is what people perceive of you. Now, how you use it is how you want them to see you. समझ रहे हैं? पहला ये है कि वो क्या है. तो जब मैं म्यूजिकल के प्रोफाइल में जाता हूँ, फर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई सी इज शी इज अ म्यूजिशियन. शी सिंग्स. व्हाई? सम रील इज देयर वेयर यू आर सिंगिंग. समझ रहे हैं तुम्हें? तो मुझे पता चलता है कि तुम इस तरीके के म्यूजिशियन हो. Basically, what you are doing is you are telling about yourself through your account. What is that? Marketing. That is basically the definition of marketing. I can go into the technicals of Philip Kotler's definition, but people, place, amka damka, falana, 4P model, ऐसा सब तुम बोलो, but basically लोगों को बताना है कि तुम क्या करते हो, लोगों तक वो पहुंचाना है. तुम अपने आप के लिए एक, again, you segment yourself for a specific type of audience. It's products, जैसे ना product segmentation, marketing, same thing. Segment the product. You are the product. You are doing all this. You are basically selling yourself, but you're not selling yourself. मतलब you are not going ting tong. I am Vivek. I am a flautist. Please learn from me. No, that's not what you're doing. But you're creating this perception that देखो विवेक है, विवेक को रागों के बारे में बहुत कुछ पता है, भले ही मुझे कुछ पता ना हो, लोगों को लगता है ना मेरे को पता है. वो क्रिएट, दैट्स व्हाट you I have created. Okay, now people think that I know a lot about ragas. I know I don't know. I only know. No, अंदर से मुझे पता है ना, मुझे पता है कि नहीं है. बट मैंने लोगों के इस दिमाग में वो क्रिएट कर दिया कि हाँ, विवेक को 365 रात तो कम से कम पता है, क्योंकि उसने 365 रात किए. वो मतलब वो I have done that, right? And I realized this a little late. I could have done that early, probably a little early. Maybe, it would have made up. I would have probably more followers. I would have been, if I had started it a little early when people weren't so active on Instagram. I started because I got ring light as a gift. Okay.
Whoa.
तो मैं वाला ठीक है पोस्ट करते हैं, वरना मैं इंस्टाग्राम में कभी पोस्ट ही नहीं किया, कभी नहीं किया लाइफ में पोस्ट. मैं पहले फेसबुक में लाइव करता था, ऐसी थोड़ी देर लाइव करता था. मैंने कभी अपने आप को मार्केट किया ही नहीं. मेरे यूट्यूब पे भी वीडियोस बहुत ऐसे 3-4 वीडियोस हैं खाली. सो मैं कभी किया ही नहीं. बाद में मैंने रियलाइज किया कि अरे भाई, मतलब लिटरली व्हेन आई जॉइंड एमबीए, दैट्स व्हेन आई रियलाइज, ओह शिट, आई एम सपोज्ड टू मार्केट माई सेल्फ थ्रू इंस्टाग्राम. आई एम सपोज्ड टू मार्केट माई सेल्फ थ्रू फेसबुक. आई एम सपोज्ड टू मार्केट माई सेल्फ थ्रू ऑल माई अदर सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट. तो हालांकि मैं मार्केटिंग में जस्ट पास हुआ हूँ, बट कंसेप्ट मुझे पता है. तो yeah, so basically social media is always necessary to project yourself. And now the fact that around 30 to 40% of India is connected through mobile phones and internet. Social media definitely becomes 30 to 40% of a 1.5 crore country is 1.5 billion
Yes.
population country. Sorry, 100, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. It's like 150 करोड़ के आबादी के कंट्री के लिए तुम जब देखोगे 40% कनेक्टेड है, उतना बड़ा तुम्हारा मार्केट है. क्या कर रहे हो? मतलब वो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड मार्केट है वो. हाँ, अभी तुम्हें अपने आप को सेगमेंट करना है कहाँ, वो तुम देखो. नो, आई सेगमेंटेड माई सेल्फ. आई ऑलवेज हैड अ लव फॉर क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक स्पेसिफिकली. आई हैव नो, मतलब ऐसे दूसरे फॉर्म्स ऑफ म्यूजिक खराब है ऐसे नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मुझे, मैं सब सुनता हूँ और सब मजे लेता हूँ, बट मुझे स्पेशल ऐसे एक कॉर्नर है इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक के लिए, बिकॉज मुझे वो पसंद है. आई कैन रिलेट टू इट.
Hmm.
जैसे हम बोलते हैं आई वाइब विद अ पर्सन, आई वाइब विद दैट म्यूजिक, आई लाइक दैट म्यूजिक. तो मैं उसके लिए मुझे कुछ करना था, तो मैंने वो 365 दिन के 365 राग कर दिए. बेसिकली मुझे वही करना था, स्प्रेड क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, उसमें से मेरा मार्केटिंग हो जाए थोड़ा बहुत, मतलब लोग जाने थोड़े बहुत, तो सम मोर पीपल नो. अभी तुम थाने में रह के तुम मुझे नहीं जानती थी, देखो अपन इंस्टा के थ्रू मिले.
Right.
It worked. I would say it worked. I have people like Sanoop. I have people like Trishna. I hope Agastya is still watching. You know how I met Agastya?
How?
We were at a medical store, and I, like, apart from the fact that I never knew that he was my mom's dentist's son. So अगस्त्य और मैं कहाँ मिले पता है? मेडिकल के दुकान पे मैं देश गुनगुना रहा था ऐसी, निजर नदर, एंड ही जॉइंड रे मपनी द प मपनी. तो मतलब वी वर वाइबिंग देयर.
Agastya is saying Poi Bhaji Kendra actually.
हाँ, पोड़ी बाजी. I don't remember the shop. Now there is a, that, so the shop that is a medical shop now, there was a poli baji kendra there before.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
so my memories might have got mixed up. Yeah, poli baji kendra. Correct. And I was singing Desh, and he joined in with the Desh.
Wow.
I was like, हाँ, मैं उधर ही ऐसे ही वाइब हो गया, उधर ही, उधर ऐसे ही मिला मैं. अब मैं गाता नहीं तो वो मुझे मिलता नहीं. So it was, I mean, that's how you meet people. That's how you market yourself. That's how things are done. Social media marketing is important. Okay.
Can you tell us more about your 365 days, 365 rags, Guru? That's also my next question to you.
क्या बोलना है मुझे? What do you want me to tell?
You want me to read the question out for you?
I don't know. I don't remember the question. So what do you want me to tell?
So basically, you came up with this year-long series. It was a massive project. I mean, of course, even I was under an impression that I still am under an impression that you at least know about 365 rags. So,
Yeah, I
where
do.
did you get all the information from, and how did you like organize it, or how did the project go through?
देखो, 100-150 राग तो सबको ही पता है.
पता
नहीं,
होना
मतलब
अलग चीज है और उसके
पता है,
बाद
मतलब in the sense that you would have heard about the rag, and you would have heard the rag.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
100-150 राग तो सबको ही पता है. मतलब अभी मैंने जुलाई मंथ में, the month of July, I had done some 31 malhars. It was, all of them were malhars.
okay
उसमें आपने मल्हार जितने भी हैं उसमें से बहुत सारे सुने नहीं होंगे, बट बहुत सारे सुने होंगे. लाइक यू वुड हैव डेफिनेटली, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद शुद्ध मल्हार. यू हैव हर्ड दिस नेम, शुद्ध मल्हार?
शुद्ध मल्हार नहीं.
अच्छा, ओके. यू हर्ड ऑफ मेघ, आई एम टेकिंग नेम्स, इसमें से तुम्हें कितने याद है तुम बोलो, ठीक है? शुद्ध मल्हार नहीं सुना है, ठीक है, ओके. मेघ,
Yes.
मेघ मल्हार,
Yes.
ओके. मियाँ की मल्हार,
Yes.
सुर मल्हार,
Yes.
देश मल्हार, राग का नाम सुना है?
No.
ठीक है.
देश.
रामदासी मल्हार, नहीं इट्स ओके. रामदासी मल्हार,
Yes.
छाया मल्हार.
नाम सुना है पर मुझे नहीं पता है.
हाँ ठीक है, नाम सुना है ना.
हाँ.
छाया मल्हार नाम सुना, गौड़ मल्हार.
Yes.
मैंने अभी 10 नाम लिए, 10 में से तुम्हें 2 नहीं पता थे. दैट इज प्रिटी गुड राइट. मतलब सो बहुत सारे. देन देर इज मीराबाई की मल्हार, सुना है? आई कैन गो. यू नॉट हर्ड ऑफ मीराबाई की मल्हार, मीरा की मल्हार? ओके. मीराबाई की मल्हार इज प्रिटी फेमस. ठीक है. तो है, मैंने भी ऐसे बहुत सारे राग थे तुम मैंने सुने ही नहीं थे. मैंने नहीं सुने थे जब मैंने शुरू किए थे, मैंने नहीं सुने थे. छाया मल्हार नहीं सुना था. आई हैड जयंती मल्हार, जयंत मल्हार. बेसिकली जय जयवंती और मल्हार का मिक्सचर है जयंत मल्हार. तो मैंने नहीं सुनी थी ये इतने सब राग. बट देन आई गूगल्ड देम, आई सर्च फॉर रिकॉर्डिंग्स, ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स, वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स. यूट्यूब पे तो बहुत है, यूट्यूब पे बहुत है, ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स भी बहुत है. सो जितने राग पॉपुलर है उनके मैंने रेफरेंसेस दिए नहीं हैं, क्योंकि वो यू नो दिस इट्स नॉट अ मेड अप राग. People know I have not made this up rag, but this rag up. But basically for the other ragas which may sound made up, I gave references. You know, there is there is something called Tilak Sarang. There is yeah, that yeah, and then I was like, Tilak Sarang kya hai? That is Mirabai ki sarang, Mira ki sarang or Tilak Sarang. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
We have, you know, you've heard of Mia ki sarang.
Yeah.
You've heard the rag, like there is not heard the rag, but you've heard of the name Mia ki sarang.
I
सुना है?
heard the name, yes.
तिलक सारंग सुना है?
नहीं, अभी सुना आपसे.
धुलिया सारंग सुना है? धुलिया मल्हार सुना है?
नहीं.
अच्छा. सो ये धुलिया एक अंग है. वो धुलिया सारंग में भी आता है, धुलिया मल्हार में भी आता है. सो
Okay.
एंड द थिंग अबाउट इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक इज वो अंग बेस्ड है. मतलब a typical kind of phrase, you mix it with an other kind of phrase, you can have another different raga.
Yes.
So so Hindustani mein it's easy, but I covered a lot of Carnatic ragas also.
This has been very insightful for me so far. So, with
I
that,
do
we
that
are
to people.
with that we are also moving towards the last question. I had initially divided the last question into two. The last question was future. So the first part of the question was related to the your future plans and if you have something coming up and if you want to announce that or something. And the other part was about what do you think about the future of this music, which you by and large answered in your previous answers.
या
You know.
म्यूजिक चलता ही रहेगा. वही है,
So,
म्यूजिक चलता ही रहेगा. और मुझे कुछ, हाँ,
no, I was saying, is there anything that you want to add, that you want to say, that you have
I
wanted to say, and now is the time?
no, mm, let me phrase it nicely. Wait.
Take your time. We will edit this
हाँ.
up.
No need to. I'm I take full responsibility of my words always. ठीक है. There are some things that I definitely want to say. First thing is, people are very quick to judge people in anything. It's not just music, in anything. और दूसरी बात ये है कि continuing this point, you'll never know how smart or how dumb a person actually is. तुम नहीं अंदाजा लगा सकते. मतलब I can never know how smart or how dumb Kalyani is, or I can never know how smart or how dumb Agastya is, or I can never know that truly. I can just understand it from what they show me. They are smart or dumb. So जजमेंट पास करना बहुत गलत होता है, पता है? वो मुझे like observe, definitely observe. I'm not saying don't observe, but don't conclude in your head. There is a very thin line between observing and concluding. So as and one more thing is, there is there are some things that might be impossible. ठीक है? Like uh, I might never, for example, for me, I might not be able to master everything that I touch. I might never be able to do that, but I will. If I just, I might not. I don't know. I don't know if I can master everything that I touch. But if I don't try, I will never be able to master it.
Absolutely.
हाँ,
Absolutely true.
तो मुझे लोग बहुत कुछ, मतलब every time I talk to someone, this is coming from a lot of thought, but every time I talk to people and they tell me, विवेक तुमको इतना सब कुछ सब चीज के बारे में कैसे पता है? मुझे पसंद है. I really like it. I love it. From my heart I do it. I don't do it because I have to do it. Repairing phones, or coding, or music, or anything that I do it because I love it. Computer games, yeah, watching anime, I do it because I like doing it. ये लोगों को समझता नहीं है शायद कि I know what I know because I love doing what I do.
Absolutely true.
वो I don't know whether people, and then they also are very quick to pass a judgment in their heads. And I can read it from their body language. I don't think they understand it, but they are very quick to pass a judgment in their heads that ये बंदे को सब कुछ पता नहीं हो सकता. मैंने कभी ये क्लेम किया ही नहीं है कि मुझे सब कुछ पता है. मैंने कभी क्लेम, मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि मुझे जो भी चीज मैं छूं उसमें मुझे मास्टरी हो. मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं, बट मैं कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा मुझे पता नहीं. और मैं कोशिश करता रहूंगा. शायद ये जिंदगी में नहीं होगा, शायद, पता नहीं, बट अगर मैं नहीं करूंगा तो पक्का नहीं होएगा, 200% नहीं होएगा.
True.
तो मैं कोशिश करते रहने वाला हूँ. मतलब आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू स्टॉप डूइंग व्हाट आई डू. So maybe I will be able to practice 4 hours only. I won't be able to practice for 10 hours a day, but I love coding, so I will code for 4 hours a day. Putting it that way, I love coding as much as I love flute. I love poetry as much as I love flute. So I'm definitely going to read poetry whenever I get free time. And no language barriers in poetry. So right from Tamil to Sanskrit to English, all languages are welcome. तो मैं ऐसे I don't know how to put this. Don't judge people. Like, don't observe people. Like, ये क्यों करते हैं? What is he trying to do? What are they trying to do? Why are they doing that? Observe it. Don't make conclusions in your head. ये तो ऐसा ही है. ये जब तुम्हारे दिमाग में स्टेटमेंट आ जाता है ना, ये तो ऐसे ही करेगा. ये जब It's a very stupid statement. Don't do that. It just shows your immaturity. So don't make judgments about people. And last, this is this poem that I generally go to whenever I feel low. So this is the third paragraph from Jag Tujhko Dur Jana by Mahadevi Verma. So she says, वज्र का उर मतलब बॉडी, छाती जो है, वज्र का उर एक छोटे अश्रुकण में धो गलाया. मतलब तुम एक आंसू किसी की टपकी नहीं की, तुम्हारे वज्र का छाती पिघल गया. वज्र का उर एक छोटे अश्रुकण में धो गलाया, दे किसे जीवन सुधा, दे किसे जीवन सुधा, दो घूंट मदिरा मांग लाया। तो वज्र का उर एक छोटे अश्रुकण में धो गलाया, दे किसे जीवन सुधा, दो घूंट मदिरा मांग लाया। सो गई आंधी मलय, सो गई आंधी मलय, वात का उपदान से क्या, विश्व का अभिशाप, विश्व का अभिशाप चिर नींद बनकर पास आया। मतलब तुम, यू आर स्लीपिंग, द होल वर्ल्ड इज कर्स्ड एंड यू आर स्लीपिंग टू इट, दैट इज योर रिस्पॉन्स। अमरता सुत चाहता है, यू बेसिकली वांट टू बी, यू वांट द नेक्टर ऑफ इमोर्टैलिटी। अमरता सुत चाहता है, क्यों मृत्यु को उर में बसाना। You want the nectar of immortality, but in your heart you basically have already placed death. जाग तुझको दूर जाना.
क्या बात.
And the last stanza is also very beautiful, very relevant. कह न ठंडी सांस, कह न ठंडी सांस में अब भूल वह जलती कहानी. मतलब take a cold breath and take a cold breath, but don't forget the burning स्टोरी इनसाइड यू. कह न ठंडी सांस में अब भूल वह जलती कहानी, आग हो उर में. उर व्हेन शी सेज बेसिकली हार्ट, छाती बोल रही है बट बेसिकली मींस हार्ट. आग हो उर में तभी दृग में सजेगा आज पानी. सो हार भी तेरी बनेगी माननी जय की पताका. Your loss will also go down as the flag of victory. हार भी तेरी बनेगी माननी जय की पताका, राख क्षणिक पतंग की है अमर दीपक की निशानी. So if you see, a moth is always attracted towards light. वो एक दीपक की तरफ हमेशा, it goes towards the light of the lamp. So she says, राख, राख मतलब द बर्निंग पतंग, मतलब द moth. The burning moth is basically the fuel for the never blowing off lamp. राख क्षणिक पतंग की, क्षणिक मतलब मोमेंटरी. राख क्षणिक पतंग की है अमर दीपक की निशानी, है तुझे अंगार शैया. अंगार शैया मतलब बेड ऑफ बर्निंग कोल्स. अंगार, अंगार शैया मतलब बेड. सो है तुझे अंगार शैया पर मृदुल कलियां बिछाना, जाग तुझको दूर जाना.
क्या बात है.
So it's and like this, I recite this poem every time to myself. Every time I feel low, I feel something is missing. So it's a beautiful poem, guys. When I say by heart, it is in your heart. It is not rot memory. रट्टा मारा हुआ नहीं है वो चीज. So you basically internalize the poetry. Now again, people ask me, आपको poetry याद कैसे रहता है इतने सारे. Like I just love the way it is written.
Correct.
It's a beautifully written poem. So you really can't forget those lines. That's all that I have to say. So don't judge people. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Observe things around you. Don't judge. That's it.
Awesome. So, boom, that was the interview and the first edition of Keeping It Real with the Silent Flautist.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this.
Actually, now onwards, I look forward to have more interaction.
Good.
Yes. So, thank you so much for joining.
Most welcome.
And thank you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Also so much who ever has joined in. When the episode comes up on YouTube, I will put a notification again.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good night.
Yes. Bye bye.